We're all constantly surrounded by this whole microscopic world. And yeah, most of the time, we don't even think about it. But for some people, the thought of germs isn't just a passing concern, it's a constant, all-out battle. So today, we're going to explore that very fine line between healthy caution and a fear that becomes totally debilitating.
Just think about the last time you were out in a public place. Did you kind of hesitate for a second before grabbing a doorknob? Or maybe you used your sleeve to open the door. If that sounds at all familiar, you are definitely not alone. That's a super common, almost instinctive reaction. And let's be really clear about this, that is perfectly normal. A little bit of caution around germs is actually a healthy precaution. It's basically a survival instinct, right? It's just our brain's way of trying to keep us safe from things that could potentially harm us.
But what happens when that simple, healthy caution starts to spiral? When does a normal awareness cross the line and become this crippling fear that starts to dictate every single move you make?
Okay, so this is the line we're talking about. When caution morphs into a full-blown phobia, it has a name: bacteriophobia. And believe me, it is so much more than just being a germaphobe.
The two key words you really got to focus on here are intense and irrational. See, this isn't about avoiding a real, immediate threat. It's when your brain's alarm system gets triggered by situations that pose little to no actual danger. And that leads to this just overwhelming, powerful anxiety.
So where does this all come from? What causes a perfectly healthy instinct to kind of warp into an irrational fear? Well, understanding the origins is a really crucial step if we want to have any empathy.
The roots of this kind of fear are often really complex and deeply personal. For some, it might be triggered by a traumatic health scare they had in the past. But sometimes the cause is a little less direct. It could be a learned behavior, something picked up in childhood, or it can even be a symptom of a broader condition like obsessive-compulsive disorder or generalized anxiety.
And this isn't just a feeling. It fundamentally changes how a person interacts with the entire world around them. Living with bacteriophobia is like seeing everything through this constant filter of potential contamination.
This fear shows up in everyday life. It can be a constant, draining worry about germs that leads to cleaning for hours and hours. It can also show up physically. Imagine feeling sick to your stomach or having a panic attack just from the thought of touching a public surface.
And this right here, this is the critical distinction. On one side, you have healthy precautions. Washing your hands, keeping your kitchen clean. These are totally rational actions. But on the other side, you have life-limiting avoidance. This is when the fear literally stops you from living your life, refusing to leave home, avoiding people you love. The goal isn't just clean this anymore. It's this impossible attempt to control an invisible threat.
And the end result of living this way? Well, it's just profoundly draining. The constant vigilance, the fear, the compulsive behaviors, it all just leads to deep emotional distress and sheer physical exhaustion. But, and this is a really important but, this fear does not have to be a life sentence. There's a path forward. There's a way to reclaim control. So how is it managed?
So the good news here is that this is absolutely a manageable condition. The primary path is therapy. Techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, help people challenge and reframe those irrational thoughts they have about contamination. And that's often combined with something called exposure therapy, where, with a professional's guidance, a person is gradually and safely exposed to their fears, which helps reduce their power. On top of that, things like stress management techniques and sometimes medication can provide really crucial support.
And this really is the key takeaway. The whole goal of treatment isn't to live in some sterile bubble. It's to be able to live freely out in the world. Just like the research says, with appropriate treatment, individuals can reduce fear and regain control over daily life. There is a path back.
So ultimately, why does any of this matter? Because whether it's our own struggle or it's somebody we know and love, understanding is the first step, every time. Recognizing this as an intense, irrational fear and not some kind of personality flaw, that's what leads to empathy, and that's what opens the door to getting help. So we'll end with this thought. The fear of germs is about an invisible world, but it's a powerful reminder that so many of the biggest battles people fight are also completely invisible. And it leaves us with a really critical question. In a world that puts so much value on what we can see, how can we all get better at acknowledging and supporting the struggles that exist just beneath the surface?